How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, part 2 of the 2000 Dodge Dakota rebuild, in which I crashed, sadly and unfortunately. If you go back and watch my previous video, I'll put a card up in the top corner. I went through all the damages and explained how the accident happened and basically everything that needs fixed and replaced. But on today's episode, we're going to start actually working on the truck and rebuilding it. I have all the necessary parts to install the fan clutch. I replaced a few idler pulleys, and I'm going to show you all the installs on that and possibly a few other parts in this video depending on how long it goes. So I guess that means let's get to work. We're going to install the fan clutch, which goes right here, as well as the fan. And I replaced these two idler pulleys, which I didn't show taking the parts off. It just took a long time and I didn't feel like it was necessary to film it. I didn't film the removal of the fan clutch because my dad had to custom fabricate a wrench because we didn't have it and we didn't feel like going to buy it. So we were able to get it off with the wrench that he made, and as well as the two idler pulleys, which I'll show you right now why I decided to replace them. It was just easier to get to and have access to while the whole fan clutch mechanism was out. And since the whole front end of the truck's apart anyways, I figured I might as well replace them now while I had easy access to them so I didn't have to do it later on down the road. But let me show you the reason why I decided to replace those pulleys. So this is the first idler pulley, and if you can't clearly tell, this is the old one. The rest really didn't matter, but if you listen to this, that's the reason why I decided to place this, because although it still spins smoothly, it's making that noise and there's probably gunk or something inside or it's just wearing down, and I figured I might as well replace it while it's out. This is the new one, nice fresh coat of black paint. This is the other old one, and this is the new one, exact same pulley. And this one you can clearly hear the difference in. And then here's the difference with the new one. So again, it's a little tough because it's new and not broken in yet. But as you can hear, there's no bearing sound, no roughness, nice and smooth. So before I show you guys the install of the fan clutch, let's get those pulleys installed. So I'm going to start with this ribbed pulley. On this one, you want to make sure the thicker rib is facing towards the motor. And that one goes on the upper piece right here. One down, one to go. So the smooth pulley goes on the bottom piece right here. I'm just going to hand tighten it at first. And there you have it, both pulleys installed. Now let's get to that fan clutch. The reason why I needed a new one was because there's a shaft that starts at this nut that goes this way and it's thrown off, as well as these fins being broke here, so it's completely out of balance. New one, no broken fins, nice and shiny. And this is what the fan goes on. Now, I did not get a new fan. There was some surface rust on this, so my dad took it to his work and sandblasted it, and he primed it, and then he brought it home and I painted it black. Freshened up the look a little bit. I reused the bolts, I cleaned them up with a wire brush and painted them black as well. So the first step is to actually get this fan mounted on the new fan clutch. It just takes 4 bolts. I'm gonna line up the fan here first, get it centered on the new clutch. And then I'm gonna just hand tighten the nuts down first, and then I'll torque them down with the wrench. And there you have it, brand new fan clutch, refurbished fan. It's basically like a brand new part. Now let's go get it installed on the motor. So the new fan clutch threads onto this part right here. So I'm just gonna spin it on by hand first, and then I'm gonna use the custom wrench we made and then tighten it down to spec. And I'm gonna do that off camera because that's gonna take a while to do, but let me get this new part on here. So there you have it, guys, the new fan clutch and the refurbished fans now on the motor. I'm just gonna torque it down the spec, but you can see that it spins really straight now, because if you go back and watch my previous video when the accident happened, it was wobbling all over the place. So now it's in balance and we're all good to go. So this is the custom wrench I was talking to you guys about. I'll show you how we're going to do it, but I'm not going to film it because it's just going to take a while to actually get torqued down, and it's not that exciting. But if you can see those 2 holes in that pulley right there, there's also 2 more on the bottom when you spin it over. And basically you just put bolts loosely in there, and then this wrench will slip down and hold the bolts in place, and then you can use a wrench to tighten down the nut on the new fan clutch, and then it'll cinch it down real tight to the motor, because you do not want that thing coming off spinning at super high RPMs. So I'm gonna get that all done and then on to the next clip. Turbo. So what was Johnny Boy doing here?
Making a track in the back.
Why do you look like you just crawled out of the swamps?
We got stuck in a valley full of water and mud. I'm talking like 4 inches of mud.
Looks pretty fun.
Yep.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you're all having a great day. This video might be a little all over the place here, but we're gonna try to get some work done on the wrecked Dakota today. So let me give you an update of what we got planned. So I didn't film this, but yesterday we were able to pull out the big dent that was in this because it was pushed in from when I hit the pole. And we just put a chain here and then attached it to that tree right there, and just used like a pulley shackle system, and just we were able to pull that right out. It's not 100% straight, but it's 99% straight, so we're almost there. So the next step is I'm gonna hammer out these dents, and then I'm gonna grind back all this rust, and I'm gonna end up filling this hole with some weld because it's pretty beat up, and I want to preserve this so it doesn't rust away. And so let's get to work. So the first step is I'm going to start grinding off all this rust and all the old flaky paint. So now that we got all this old rust and flaky paint grinded off, gives us a nice clean surface to work with. Now I can hammer out those dents and start welding up those holes. So look who decided to walk over.
What's up, boys?
While I was in the middle of working, a little distraction came along. You don't seem too impressed with my work.
What are you working on now?
We just pulled the dent out of the rad support. I'm hammering out the little dents. I'm gonna weld up those holes in there.
Could have been preventable.
How?
A real truck's bumper. A move bumper.
He thinks a move bumper would look good on this. Well, not good, but it at least would have prevented the problem of me hitting the pole, right?
Sure would have.
All right, enough distractions. Back to work. Well, I don't think I'm gonna get this 100% perfect, but it's a little bit better than it was. I think I got it good enough. So now it's gonna be time to weld up these holes. So I'll give you guys a side profile view of the rad support. See, overall it's pretty straight. You know, it's a bit out right there, but I don't think that's really gonna make a difference. And plus you're not gonna see it once the rad's in there and, you know, the whole front end of the truck's on there. So a little bit of change of plans here. Since we're gonna be welding up these holes anyways, we're gonna weld on like a little stud or a bolt of some sort, and then just use the slide hammer to try to pull this dent out right here. It's kind of bad right here. Other than that, like the rest is pretty flat. I was able to get a lot of the indentations out with the hammer. But yeah, other than that, we're gonna start welding it up and try to get the rest of the dents out. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so we got the rad support pretty much all straightened out now. I'm not sure how the previous clips turned out or how they got edited together, but hopefully you guys followed that pretty well. So we were able to pull out the big dent right here. I was going to grind off these welds, and then we got the majority of the dents out up here with the slide hammer, and then I'm just going to grind off all these welds, smooth it out a little bit, and then throw a coat of paint on it. So overall I think it turned out pretty well. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it down in the comments below. I got all the welds grounded off. Now I'm gonna take a wire wheel to this area and clean it up a little bit, and then throw a coat of paint on it, and it'll look brand new. But my camera battery's about to die, so I'm gonna run in the house and put the battery on the charger. And once I get this area cleaned up, I'll show you guys the update before I paint it, so you guys don't miss out on anything. All right guys, so about an hour later, this is the update. This might look a little different to you. I went to use some brake cleaner to clean up all the rough areas before I go to paint it, because brake cleaner kind of works like wax and grease remover, and it ended up taking off some of this black undercoating type stuff, which is okay because I'm just going to end up priming this whole area anyways and painting it black. But still, now you guys can see the update of how it all looks. And now I'm going to throw down some primer. Give you guys a side angle here. Like I said, it's pretty straight. You know, it's a lot better than it was, and this will work out fine. Really happy with how it turned out. Now it is getting dark on me here, so I'm going to throw a quick coat of primer on this before it gets dark, and then after I throw the primer, I'll catch you guys in the morning. So there you have it guys, got the rad support all done in the primer. I'll give this some time to dry, and then I'll throw final paint on it. I'll probably go with a black just so it matches the rest of the, you know, the motor bay area. But overall I think it came out pretty good. I'm satisfied with it. Again, it's not 100% perfect, but it'll do for the situation that I'm in. So I'll catch you guys in the morning. So I'd say that came out pretty good if you ask me. And give it some time to dry, and I might throw a second coat on it, but overall I think that came out really nice. So I think that's going to do it for today's video guys. Thanks for watching. I apologize if it was all over the place. You know, I had clips from before and clips after, and I had them switched around. It was just a mess, but I hope you guys were able to follow it, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys are excited about the rebuild of this truck and how it's coming along, be sure to drop me a thumbs up, and make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. You know, I'm gonna hopefully be filming the complete rebuild of this truck, and it's gonna be coming along before you even know it. So thanks again for watching guys, and as usual, always accelerate and don't look back. I'll catch you guys on the next video.